When asked about the state of her marriage to Will, Jada told People magazine, "We're still working it out." 6 years prior to the iconic slap at the 2022 Oscars, she disclosed that they had discreetly broken up.
16, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago.
The most intriguing aspect, though, is how hard these two had worked to conceal the truth. Check out this interview that was conducted after the alleged divorce, according to Jada.
How long have you guys been together?
23 years.
Wow. How do you keep it hot?
How do I keep it hot? Maybe
Even though Jada appears to be having trouble coming up with responses in the video, the cause of that has already been identified. We've been working together on some incredibly difficult tasks. We recently fell deeply in love with each other and are now determining what that means to us. Jada and Will have been apart for the past 7 years. When asked today about the reasons for their marriage's decline, Jada answered frankly, "I think by the time we got to 2016, we were just worn out from trying. I believe that we were both still somewhat mired in our idealized conceptions of what the other person ought to be. I swore there would never be a justification for a divorce between us. We will work through whatever," she continued. "And I've simply been unable to breach my promise. Our homes are separate." Naturally, this set off a firestorm on the internet. The individual wrote on Twitter, "No way Will Smith ruined his career and publicly embarrassed himself for his wife to say this." Someone else said, "At this point, you got to wonder what it is Will Smith did that makes Jada wake up like once every 3 weeks with the intention of embarrassing this man." However, this individual had an intriguing viewpoint. Unpopular perspective. "In my opinion, Jada Pinkett Smith has been giving up her happiness and self-worth for her family for years, and we use that act of selflessness against her. Do we recall Hawthorne from Top Show on television? For familial reasons, she left the situation. She has the right to speak the truth." In the year after the 2022 Oscars, Will officially apologized for the slap through a slew of comments and video posts. In one of his posts, he acknowledged regret, writing, "There is no part of me that thinks it was the correct way to behave at that time. No part of me believes that's the best approach to deal with feeling disrespected or insulted. It's as if I made a decision based on my past interactions with Chris and my own experiences." Jada was unrelated to it. "I apologize, baby. I want to apologize to my family and kids for the stress I put them and me all through." Jada Pinkett Smith will give her perspective on a variety of topics in her upcoming biography, Worthy, which includes the event at the Oscars. The memoir will be available starting on October 17th. Jada Pinkett Smith recently discussed the Will Smith Oscar slap, recalling her first shock at seeing Will take the stage following Chris Rock's joke about her bald head, thinking it was a spoof. At the moment, Chris Rock was presenting the Oscar for Best Documentary Film. Beyond an Instagram post she made immediately after the incident, in which she stressed the need of healing at the moment, this is the first time Jada has talked about the incident in public. "I thought, this is a skit," Jada said. "There's no way Will hit him, I thought. I didn't even know it was a skit until Will started to return to his chair." Jada discreetly approached Will afterward and inquired, "Are you okay?" Regarding the event, Jada said, "I'm going to stay by his side, but also let him work this out for himself." Given that Jada had been open about her battle with alopecia, Chris Rock's joke about her bald head was especially painful. In response, Will stormed the stage and smacked Rock. After that, he went back to his seat and confronted Rock about his remark regarding his wife. Smith, who received a lot of criticism after winning the Best Actor Oscar that same evening, finally left the Academy. In retaliation, the Academy imposed a 10-year ban on Smith's membership and attendance at functions like the Oscars. In her biography, Jada also reflected on her history, talking about how she struggled with depression as a young woman and relied on Prozac for assistance until meeting her future husband, Will Smith, in 1994 while working on the set of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She acknowledged, "Once I met Will, Jada faced further challenges, including an entanglement with Jaden's friend, August Alsina, in the same year." August Alsina, now 30 years old, and Jada Pinkett Smith, 51 years old, allegedly ran into each other in 2015 at the Wire Festival in London, where the Smiths' kids, Willow and Jaden, were showing their abilities. Alena quickly became a close friend of the family and even went on vacation with the couple and their kids to Hawaii the following year. However, rumors began when images of Alena and Pinkett Smith holding hands at the 2017 BET Awards surfaced. According to a source, people were speculating, and Will and Jada have a very unique understanding. When August claimed to have spoken to Will, he was given credit. It was a gift that was given. Alena freely admitted to having a talk with Will Smith as a result of the Smiths' transition from a married couple to a life partnership to The Breakfast Club presenter Angela Yee in June 2020. He gave me the go-ahead. Later, Pinkett Smith acknowledged the existence of their romance, describing it as an entanglement in an interview with Will for her Facebook Watch show, Red Table Talk. She explained that since they were on a break, she didn't see it as a transgression at the time. Will had said, "I was done with your A at that point." Jada Pinkett Smith downplayed a 4-year romance, according to a source who reflected on the circumstance and informed the Washington Post. It was unfortunate because there was no entanglement involved. They were not dragged by Alena in any interviews. It wasn't a scandal, though. It was merely Alena speaking the truth and regaining control of his life. He was actually becoming physically ill as a result of the romance's stress. Jada actually had other potential love interests than August. "Would you believe me if I said that she almost slept with Chris Rock?" She explained, "I suppose every summer would come out all the rumors that me and Will were having a divorce. And Chris, this particular summer, he believed that we were divorcing. I got a call from him, and he basically said, 'I'd love to take you out.' I questioned, 'What do you mean?' 'Well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce?' he said. 'No, Chris, those are just rumors,' I said. He was horrified and apologized a lot. That ended the matter." Jada also had a lot to say about what transpired backstage regarding the slap. Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith haven't spoken since the Oscars incident, but she's still holding out hope for a settlement and amicable relations between all parties. As she prepares for the publication of her book, Worthy, she admitted in a candid interview with People that she hasn't spoken to Chris personally since the incident. "Here's my desire," she said, sharing her yearning for a solution. "I simply want there could be peace and an end to all the confusion surrounding this." Jada clarified a potential misunderstanding from the 2016 Oscars when she supported the Oscars So White movement and emphasized the lack of diversity in the nominees. That year's host Chris slung jabs at Jada throughout the show. She admitted, "I think that there might be some misunderstanding between Chris and I as far as the 2016 Oscars," as she thought back on those occasions. "I believe that even though I had no intention of hurting him, he may have been offended. I didn't intend to do that. However, I believe there is a significant misunderstanding there." She reflected on her behavior at the time and said, "I probably should have called him and gone, 'Hey, are you okay? And just know that although I'm speaking out about the Oscars, I do wish you the best and I just want you to know that.' I might have damaged his feelings by taking the time to call him and say that just to check in." Chris tried to apologize to Jada for the incident at the 2022 Oscars during a live broadcast, but she said it wasn't the right time to talk about it. "Had before I even entered the picture in the late 1980s, she said, "I'll have to leave that up to Will and Chris to discuss. But I know they've got their things. Therefore, it is safe to conclude that Will and Chris have enough to talk about and are well equipped to do so. Therefore, it is safe to state that Will and Jada had good reasons to split up." Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and comments. Also subscribe our channel for more videos.